Et ça arrivait. Et ça arrivait comme ça. Et ça arrivait. Et c'est tout à coup que j'ai senti la terre. J'ai senti la terre, que je l'ai senti tourner. Et que je tournais, que je tournais, que je tournais. Oh oui. Que je tournais avec elle.
Oasis, homesickness, memory, values, the blood of the world, the empty frame, the explanation, Magritte, the invention of life, time transfixed, values, the mysteries of the horizon,
the blood of the world,
memory, the lovers,
the water. Et ça arrivait, et ça arrivait, et ça arrivait comme ça, et ça arrivait. Et c'est tout à coup que j'ai senti la terre. J'ai senti la terre, que je l'ai senti tourner. Et que je tournais, que je tournais, que je tournais. Oh oui, que je tournais avec elle. Et je me suis senti rouler avec elle comme une bille autour du soleil. Tchac. Les yeux ouverts ou fermés, je me suis senti collé à elle. Si on arrête, c'est pas en marche, faut que je me fige pour partir avec elle, les pieds collés au sol. J'écoute battre mon cœur et tout à coup, je bats avec elle et je tourne, 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 je tourne autour du sol. Je vois que sur la terre que vient le monde, que tout surgit, et glace, l'on glace le paradis et la glace. Avant hier, la terre était toute plate, au bout tout tournait dans l'espace. Hier, le soleil tournait autour d'elle, et aujourd'hui, je tourne avec elle. Et je cavale, quand je cavale autour du soleil. Et ça arrivait comme ça, ça arrivait. Et c'est tout à coup que j'ai senti la terre, je l'ai senti tourner. Et que je tournais, oh, que je tournais avec elle et je me suis senti rouler avec elle comme une bille autour du soleil.
I thought it was poetic. I thought it was amazing, unexpected.
The music, you like the music?
The music, sometimes I would have preferred sometimes just the music. Sometimes I liked just the voices. I thought some of the texts were very rich. Some of the other texts were less rich, but compensated by the music, put it that way. But I thought I didn't realize that this whole composition was going to be so surprising. Very nice.
Hey there, I'm Jessie James Lafleur. I'm a slam poet, spoken word artist from Berlin, and I have the huge pleasure and honor to be part of the Brussels Poetry Festival, which is happening this year in 2017. And I am completely amazed because I have never seen poetry meeting so many different types of music, of performance, of projection. We're in the planetarium today. I actually have to say that I have never ever seen poetry and music happening in the planetarium, so I'm really surprised and very excited to see what's happening next. There'll be still 2 days, Saturday and Sunday happening. Now there'll be an open mic, and I can only say that I'm very thankful to be here. The team is awesome. They're really trying their best to make us feel home here in Belgium, so we can all say that this is a second home. Not quite for me, because I'm from Belgium, but for everyone else. It's very beautiful to find each other, to be in a poetic environment, and the lady behind the camera, you can't see her, but she's freaking awesome as well. If you couldn't make it this year, make sure that you make it in 2018. This is the 4th edition, maybe there will be a 5th one. Basically, that's what I'm hoping for. And thank you very, very much, Brussels Poetry Festival, and thank you, Philip Messman. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you, well.
Let's get loose. Okay, my name is Cat George, and that back there is Peter Carlaftes. We publish annually this journal. It's a journal of contemporary Dada poetry and writing and art, and it gets contributors from around the world. This year we have more than 200 contributors. Next year our theme will be
We are all alike.
We are all alike. So we would love to have everybody who's in here send in a contribution, and you can talk to Peter or me to find out more about how to do that. This is a beautiful event here. Despite our late start, the great news is that we can stay until dawn, so we can party all night long. So it's gonna be great. A lot of poetry, a lot of pasta, a lot of party. Okay, thing about being in Brussels in the last few days, and then before that we were doing Dada performances in Paris and then in London. The best thing of all is that we haven't heard a lot of mention about American politics, which is I'm very grateful about. So now I'm going to read a poem about American politics. After domestic battles and fights with the family and worries about money and worries about sleep and no sleep and too much sleep and no food and too much food and no drink and too much drink. After the arguments about religion and philosophy, sports and teams and basketball and football, and the pressures of too much work and the pressures of too little work and the lack of confidence and the overconfidence and the worry that life is passing by so very, very fast and yet sometimes so slow. And this year it snowed, and this year it snowed on the first day of spring, and the protesters didn't protest, and things got done or didn't, and I did or didn't wear enough to protect me from the cold. Because yes, it has been cold, so cold. America has been freezing all its moments into hate-filled, frozen panoramas of us against them and them against us. And we all know who's right and what news is real and what news is fake. And it's pretty clear who the common enemy is. We point fingers. And that is what we do these days. We point and 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 we describe our frustration and we describe our anger and we describe our fear, and then we take a photo and put it with a clever caption or a caption full of horror, and then we share, 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 and soon we feel a little better because we got it out of our system, and we say, okay, job well done. Let's fuck someone, a stranger. Please hook up, connect, and leave. And then it starts all over again. And how many times can this cycle whirl until the clothes are clean, the clothes are dry, your eyes are dry, you sigh, it just ain't worth it anymore. A man down on the street below my room is playing his horn. He is playing a trumpet. He is playing Body and Soul, my favorite jazz song. He is not playing very well, but still, he is playing. I look out the window to see him and stare. He is laying on the sidewalk on his back with his head in the gutter and sewage running over him in the bike lane. His legs are raised up and pulled over his head. His body is shaped like a U, and his lips have his trumpet, and he is playing Body and Soul. Not too well, but after all the strident edges these days, after all the bullshit, after all the arguments, I love this man doing what he does, just because. Sometimes you just need weird.
They made their fortune and their name on the blood spilled over cotton fields, and in factories hiring and firing new slaves with no wages to feed their children. You are an annual recycler. Give lessons to your friends who buy bottled water and eat meat once a week. You will never set foot in a non-hybrid car. You throw away your dinner because you order too much food. You walk the earth in private jets, matching pattern brains and shiny politics, the kind you got in your family dinners, in your family estates, in the wine countries in Sonoma, on some foreign country where your parents bought up some land to retrieve their roots, complained about local laws and mores that their ancestors left behind, on overcrowded boats across the Atlantic, or on Ellis Island where God butchered their names, so they made a name for themselves, made up by officials at the border. I feel like the mic is very loud.
Yeah.
Is it very loud?
It's hard to hear that.
Ah, sorry, okay. They accumulated property and money to erase their humiliation, burying their past in evening gowns and mansions south of the Mississippi River, west of their dreams. Others came across the same ocean on boats loaded with human flesh, with no name to speak for them, no name to even butcher. Only their hands and knees to save them from the agonies of whips, cords hanging on trees and branches, a song dying in the bleeding moon. You're the sound of your father, you're the last bit of dynasties, crawling under a world of rotten earth, starving for new ideals, blowing the doors your ancestor built, but can no longer hold, looking for refuge in a world already crumbling, holding on to injustice and benefits. Where does the entitlement come from? Where does it end? Where is the starving great-grandfather in you to save you from the dumb pact you made to jeopardize the future of our own children? One day, my eye will no longer be able to see, to watch this mystery of a planet your ancestors, you and everyone, created, unpunished for centuries. When your hour rings, ces bateaux de misère, because they have nothing, they come to you for help, their mouths agape, their children moaning, their hands open, trembling. When they come to you, give them your coat and your bread and your eyes. Give them so you remain unpunished.
Wow. Sophie Mallory, one more time for Sophie Mallory. Okay, now all the way from Estonia, please welcome to the stage Jan Ludermane.
Da, 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 da. Spook, da, 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 da.
Das ist Wort. Insel, Kinsel, Sinsel, Pinsel.
Da oder alles ist.
Ist es schön? Ist es blöd? Ist es blöd? Ist es König?
Nein. Nur
Eine kleine, nein, aber große mannliche Größe, aber große kannliche Größe, aber große
mannliche Größe.
aber
Dafür da.
dafür, Führer,
Da
findet, ist Land.
Belgium. Land findet.
Kann Kindnet, Sonnsinnet, Wandrinnet, Mandminnet, Tantinnet.
Is a surprise guest. Please welcome to the stage Lisa Ducasse. Please, all the way from many places. Fantastic to see her here.
Sometimes I look at you when I write and I fall into space and into stars. From up there I see you, a beautiful mind and a cloudy spell, sheltering me from the light that makes the paper too bright and hurts my eyes so that it's always around 1 a.m. in the room. Shaded lamps and shadow-making pens. I write you while you read a totally different book about astronauts and I say, maybe someday they will find me. You pause, you fold the book on your knee, you whisper, I sometimes wonder if the dog they sent into space howled. And if she must have thought that the moon looked very close today, we don't say that we know no one howled back, that we know we're lone wolves too, chasing the tails of comets, trying to figure it out, say, where are they going, trying to make sense of it. Say, why didn't they howl? Thank you. When I was little, I used to scour the garden for fallen stars. I knew what they would look like, small round lumps of smooth-thawed rock, possibly still a little warm to the touch, and perfect for carrying around, a pocket wonder, a sky school friend. Perhaps it came from a story I read. I've forgotten the story now, but I still look for the wonder. It's in strange solitudes of crowded beauty. Here is a trick I have to give to fellow wonder seekers. This pocket-sized line is, carry it stitched on the soles of your sneakers. Be a kid to the world. For in the childhood garden of home, every pebble you pick is a shooting star. Thank you.
So all you can do from now forward is wait. So there I was, waiting. Just peeked behind the curtain and there death was. Down on the street with scepter, dark cape, and a cavernous cowl. While each door he passes becomes boarded remains. What to do with success? Oh wait, I skipped a page. Looks like the cat playing chess in the film. Here his hard step hit the stair. Precious seconds to prepare my absurd scheme. Quickly grabbing frozen sperm and embryo, I stand behind front door, which silently swings open with pyrotechnic swirl. Enter death, surprisingly about the same height as me. Bellowing from the depth, your time's up. Well, with that same slim chance, enabling each of our beginnings, I aim for death's loin, wielding procreative means. Death scoffs, warning. I take the sperm and the egg and I throw it right at death's loin. And death scoffs, warning, it's all been tried before. But I sense something changing, a disconnected self-involvement. Death just traipses out the door. An original thought, such pure inspiration, blinding old bees through insemination. What to do with success, because down on the street, I know of no place to go. So I start searching for death. First Carmine, then Leroy, Cornelia, and Jones, all boarded up, empty and pitch black erode. When straight up past 7 near Bleecker and Grove, no doubt caught tail end of preoccupied road. I spent a lifetime where others could care less if I lived. Should I follow on death's heel? Not a blueprint or map. Methinks I'll take a chance and create my own path.
Okay, welcome now to the stage one of the people who's behind so much of what you see at the Brussels Poetry Festival and makes it all swirl, Irene Sigmund!
Well, thank you, but Kat, you promised me that you would interpret, because I will be reading in Dutch.
Oh, right. I will, that's
Yes.
right, I forgot. Okay. I am interpreting only based on the sound and intonation of her voice and the imagined thought of what the words mean. I don't know Dutch at all, pretty much, except I learned dank u.
Lied voor de stad.
Fruit of the vine.
Stad rijst op uit woord en vlees.
Stop right now and go to my place.
Nog één keer op pad met de Hitlerkever.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Nog één keer op pad met de Hitlerkever.
Nothing here but pasta and a little coffee.
Stad rijst op.
Stop right now.
Rotterdam, best city in the world.
Look down, bitch. This is the best city in the world.
Ik zie groen in het licht van het stoplicht. Ik zie dames in massagesalons.
I went to do the dog groomer and I tried to get my dog washed, but he said he was done for the day.
Ik krijg het warm van de dames die de massagesalons schoonmaken. Ik krijg het warm van de dames die de massagesalons stofzuigen.
The damage my dog did to the dog masseuse was something to write home about. It was simply terrible. I have to call the local animal control.
Ik zie groen in het licht van het stoplicht.
You should see the groomer's face.
Rotterdam, best city in the world.
Rotterdam is the best city in the world except for...
En alle leuke meisjes zijn moeders met bakfietsen. En sneakers zonder sokken. Alle leuke meisjes zijn moeders met bakfietsen, bakvissen met kutkoters en kleuterscholen vol prikpennen en niet-machines.
Right. Back in Mauritius, I was having such a good time with another person's dog. We were running on the beach, it was fun, it was lovely. Then we thought about Rotterdam and fell asleep.
Er zijn geen slechte dichters.
Is there anything left of Mauritius?
Er is het museumpark en een zak vol wiet.
Is there anything left of my thoughts about Rotterdam?
En 's ochtends vroeg al hasje in de koffie.
I remember I went there once and I really had a good time. It was beautiful.
Het is de laatste trein die je altijd mist en waarvoor niemand ooit kaartjes koopt.
I took the last train from Munich, got to Rotterdam early in the morning.
Er is het museumpark en een zak vol wiet voor mij alleen.
I went to the park and then I had some wheat bread.
Yes, you had weed, a lot of it.
Yes.
Stad rijst op, want we zijn helden en kamerplanten en droogneuken en salonsocialisten. Kuthippies, vooral dat, kuthippies. Alle kuthippies moeten dood en ik kan heel hard schelden, want jullie verstaan me toch niet.
Stop right now. All the good hippies moved to Rotterdam long ago, and then they left, and then they came back, and now they're only hipsters. But the good hippies are coming back again, and they're creating, it's great.
Scheid.
Shit.
Ik zie groen in het licht van het stoplicht en ik laat ze voorgaan. Niet omdat ik een gentleman ben, niet omdat ik een gentleman ben.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Maar
and men.
omdat ik naar hun schuddende billen en buiken wil staren en borsten en billen en buiken en te strakke broeken.
Went to this barber, went to the dog groomer, went to Rotterdam, had a good time, went to a party, fell down.
Rotterdam, best city in the world.
Rotterdam is the best city in the world.
Stad rijst op.
Stop right now.
En ook de rijke mensen moeten ergens wonen. In Capelle aan de IJssel is vol. Ook de rijke mensen moeten ergens wonen. En er zijn geen slechte dichters. Alleen rijke mensen met zakken vol geld en een lege boekenkast.
I remember now that we can all move, Irene said we can all move to Rotterdam and move in with her, and we start a theater company, and it'll be a lot of fun, and we have a good time.
En 's ochtends vroeg al harsje in de koffie.
Rotterdam is great.
In plaats van cocaïne.
It has beautiful plazas.
Het wordt nooit wat op die manier. Het wordt nooit wat op die manier.
And plenty to eat, and great theater, especially Irene's.
Ja, we moeten niet vergeten wie de broek aan heeft.
And you have to go there, you have to see the flowers, they're lovely.
Wiens broek dit is en welke koffie en welke harsje en welke dichters we wel en niet moeten lezen.
Coffee's very good too.
Stad rijst op en ik wil niet weten hoe ik hier gekomen ben. Stad rijst op en ik heb geen idee waarom ik hier nu wakker word. Wie ben je, wat wil je? En nee, dit is geen zak met wiet.
Best city in the world.
's Ochtends vroeg al harsje in de koffie en er zijn geen slechte dichters. En stad rijst op in het licht van het stoplicht. En alle leuke moeders hebben geen interesse, maar wel openingen.
it was such a hard time when I did move to Rotterdam because Irene said we could live with her and then she kicked us out of the street. It was terrible.
Ik loop door en de stad houdt op, staat stil en vergeet even. Zat ze voor mij dient te knielen als een goedkope hoer op de hoek van de straat. Ze heeft geen tanden en morgen heb ik grote verhalen.
The hippies came back, the hippies left. It was so sad. Irene said we could live there. She threw us out, we were on the street. Then the police came and it was
als vuile sokken ophangen, hard dat ik als een vat vol koeienbloed tentoonstel.
Yes. Because the police were only actors from Irene's theater group and she brought us back. It was great.
En morgenochtend heb ik grote verhalen en vuile sokken en een hoor die van me houdt.
Is that the sad part? Yes, it was very sad that we all were so crying tears when we all were reunited there in Irene's small theater, and we decided right then we would create together for the rest of our time.
Ik zie groen in het licht van het stoplicht, groen in het licht van het stoplicht en 's ochtends vroeg al harsje in de koffie. En elke straathoek staat in mijn agenda, elke straathoek staat in mijn agenda. Ik zeg, het zijn allemaal watjes. Ik zeg, het zijn allemaal watjes en ik zal eens wat laten zien. Het zijn allemaal watjes en ik zal eens wat laten zien.
After all of that, I woke up and it was all only a dream.
Er zijn geen slechte dichters, alleen dichters die doodgaan. Dank u wel, Cat George, dames en heren.
Okay, très cool. Speaking of Brussels Poetry Fest, the dreamer behind the Brussels Poetry Fest has agreed to share a poem with us this evening. Woo! Please welcome to the stage, Philip Meersman.
Bon appetit. Enjoy your meal. Something to accompany your meal. Main gauche, main droite, cuillère. Ourchette, ourchette. Ork, 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 ork.